So I am seeing there is a drum, one of those, it's kind of a bigger drum. And I'm noticing the notes that are being played, the vibrations that are coming out of it as it is being hit on certain places in this drum. So let's say that you hit it in the center, it's making a certain vibration, versus if you hit it right at the edge, plays a different note. Or even if you played it on the outside of the drum and not even on the drum skin, it's playing a different tune. Just so you know, I'm downloading this real time, so let's see where this goes. Okay, then I can see the person who's playing the drum. And so they look like they're in a band. They're walking down the street and they're playing this drum, playing different parts of it. It's like they're in a parade. And so they're finished and they go home and they set this drum off to the side. They set it in their room. And they're sitting in their bed and they kind of feel a certain way. Like they're not actually looking like they feel very good. They're like, why am I not feeling good? All the while this drum is like very present in the scene. It's kind of over in the corner. And it's saying, what vibrations have you been playing? You can't just go out and play them and then set it off to the side and think that it's not going to affect you. In fact, it affects you in real time, it affects you at that present time, and it affects you later on, because you've allowed these vibrations to be in your energy field. And then now I'm seeing them, they got like a tape deck, it's like one of those CD changers with all the different discs in it. So they're playing one of these CDs, and it's playing really heavy, dense, music in it, kind of heavy metal stuff, and it's showing the vibrations that are coming out of this music contraption, boombox, whatever you call it, are very distorted and very chaotic, and it's affecting this person in a really deep and profound way. It's actually going into the energy that, like, previous to that was really beautiful and smooth and flowy and nice, and it's going in and it's just causing kind of chaos, disruption, and distortion in their energy field. Sorry, we have construction going on at the house. You can probably hear that. And so this person is sitting there and they're falling asleep at night, and they're like, oh, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And they're not feeling good. And so now they're showing me like a month and 3 months and 4 months and 5 months, 6 months down the road, and it's like they're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And now their energy field looks awful. It is quite black, dark, and it just actually looks like chaos. Now, when I normally would see energy, it would just be nice, soft, beautiful light. This does not look like this at all. Okay, and so this person is saying, why am I feeling this way? Next thing I know, they're sitting in a psychologist's office here, and they're asking, why do I feel this way? And the psychologist is like, well, tell me about yourself. And they're talking and they're having a conversation, and they're literally getting nowhere. They're getting absolutely nowhere. The person's leaving. They're not feeling any better. And they're thinking, something is seriously wrong with me. What's going on? Okay, then I see Yeshua, and he's walking down the road, Jesus. And he's like, hey, man, how's it going? And as soon as he comes up to this dude, the energy field starts to even out and starts to be filled with more light. And he's like, how are you feeling, my son? And the man says, well, at this moment, I actually feel okay, but I haven't felt okay for about 5 or 6 months, maybe 7 or 8 or 9. The numbers just keep getting higher and higher, all the way up to 11 months. And he says, what have you been doing to yourself? So what do you mean, what have you been doing to yourself? And he says, I see you sitting in your room, and you are listening to something, and it is damaging your energy field. And it is causing all kinds of chaos in your life. It's distorting your mind. He said, I'm here helping you right now by you gaining awareness of this. And the man goes, oh, I sit in my room and I listen to, this kind of music. And he says, I want you to think about that for a moment. And so the man, he thinks about it for a moment. And he says, I don't understand how me doing that would be affecting me. And Jesus says, everything is vibration. All of the thoughts that you have, all the words that you speak, they all have vibration. All the things that you listen to, they all have vibration. And they will either lift you up or they will downgrade you. So this man thought, I don't quite understand. He said, okay. I want you to think about this for a moment. There's the most beautiful tree that you've ever seen, and it's filled with these really beautiful doves, and the tree is just filled with fruit. And these doves, they don't even eat that fruit. That's just for the humans. And so you go up and you pick some of this fruit off the tree, and you sit down and you lean up against it, and you ground on the earth. And then you can see there's these little bunnies that start hopping up next to you, and all these beautiful flowers that are springing up. And the air, the weather, the temperature is perfect, and it's just beautiful. And life feels amazing. And you can see people coming over also to this tree, and they're so friendly, and they just want to visit and say hello and give you their happy smiles. And he goes, okay. He said, okay, now I want you to imagine that music that you play. And I want you to imagine yourself sitting in your room. How do you feel? And then he understood, and then he knew. And he had not been being thoughtful about his life because he didn't know that he had to be thoughtful about his life. And because he became thoughtful about his life, he changed things. He stopped the old way of distracting himself. He stopped the old vibrations that he was playing that were not helpful to him, that were heavy and dense and not uplifting and not filled with divine love. And because he did this, everything changed for him. And so he goes back to the psychologist and he says, I'm actually here just to educate you and to just tell you that the thoughts that you think matter more than anything else, that the vibrations that you play matter more than anything else. And I'm so thankful that I ended up having a spiritual experience because of that depression that I had, as it led me closer and closer to the divine and to the love that exists within all things, in the deepest molecules of creation.